Are you still changing your oil every 3,000 miles? Or buying premium gas for your old Corolla? Yeah, I've got news for you. Here are 5 car maintenance myths that are draining your wallet. And trust me, number 2 is going to blow your mind. The myths get increasingly dumb and the price tags get stupider down the list. So let's start with a classic. Myth number 5, you have to change your oil every 3,000 miles. Look, I get it. This used to be true back in the day when cars were simpler and engines ran dirtier, but things have changed a lot since then. So unless you're driving a 92 Geo Metro or you're somehow still living in 1985, you don't need to change your oil every 3,000 miles. Modern engines and synthetic oils can easily go 5,000 to maybe even 7,500 miles, and some even up to 10,000 with no issues at all. And you don't necessarily have to take my word for it. Just go check in your car's manual. It literally tells you the correct interval. I promise you, it's in there. You can find it between your insurance card and that 3-year-old Taco Bell receipt in the glove box. Modern cars like a 2020 Toyota Camry or a Honda CR-V or even a base Ford F-150 are all engineered to run a lot longer and cleaner between oil changes. This is now possible because of advanced engine designs and synthetic oils that don't break down the same way old school mineral oils did. So you're not doing your car a favor by changing the oil too soon, you're just draining perfectly good oil and wasting money. That's not it though, because changing oil too often can even be harmful. You risk things like strip drain plugs, over-tightened filters, and unnecessary wear on threads and seals. Some cars like late model BMWs or newer Lexus RXs even have gauges built in that will tell you when your oil change is due. You need to pay attention to your oil life monitor. You know, that little percentage number on your dash? I promise. It's not a scam. It uses real-time data like engine temps, RPMs, driving habits, and even trip lengths to tell you when that oil actually needs a change. Trust me, it's definitely smarter than Chad at the Quick Lube trying to sell you a $90 oil change at 2,999 miles. Now, let's talk about another outdated habit that refuses to die. Myth number 4, you need to warm up your car for 15 minutes before driving. Now, this one's for those winter warriors who start up their car at 7:45 in the morning so it can warm up until 8. No, your car does not need to sit there warming up for 15 to 20 minutes. Sure, that might have been true when engines were carbureted because those engines weren't great at regulating fuel-air mixes in cold weather, but today's fuel-injected engines are designed to warm up while driving. Sure, maybe give it a couple seconds, maybe even a minute to let some oil circulate, but 15 minutes is just excessive. Today's cars like the 2016 Subaru Outback, 2022 Toyota RAV4, or 2020 Hyundai Elantra, they all come with electronic fuel injection systems and advanced engine control modules. These systems are smart. They are literally built to warm the engine up as you drive, not while parked. And here's where the real damage comes in. When you let your car idle for 15 to 20 minutes on a cold morning, it's not just wasting gas, it's also running what we call a rich air fuel mixture. That means the system is pumping in extra fuel because the cold engine can't vaporize fuel properly. And that extra fuel, it washes away the protective oil film on your cylinder walls. Now you're allowing metal-on-metal contact, premature cylinder wear, and your oil's being diluted with gasoline, which makes your next oil change even more necessary, not less. And of course, you're also wasting gas, especially with today's prices. So if you're idling a modern V6 SUV like a Chevy Traverse or Honda Pilot, you could be burning through a quarter gallon or more of gas every 15 minutes. Multiply that by 30 winter days and, well, you've just wasted over $50 in fuel for nothing. So the best thing you can do is start the car, wait about 30 seconds, then gently drive. Don't floor it, don't try to impress your neighbor, just let the car warm up under a light load, the way it was engineered to. Alright, so your car doesn't need a 15-minute warm-up session in the morning, but you know what it also doesn't need? Fancy fuel. Myth number 3, premium gas equals better performance for every car. Now, repeat after me. Your Toyota Corolla does not need premium gas. I see this one all the time. People filling up with 91 octane like it's some kind of magical engine elixir, even though their owner's manual screams, regular unleaded only, please I'm begging you. Premium fuel has a higher octane rating. It resists knocking in high compression or turbocharged engines. So if your car requires it, yes, use it. If it says recommended, then it might improve performance slightly under certain conditions. But if your car is designed for 87, putting in 91 octane does nothing. There's no more power, there's no cleaner engine, no "Oh, it feels smoother, bro." That is simply a placebo effect. You're paying 30 to 50 cents more per gallon, so let's do the math. If you're filling up once a week and your tank is 12 gallons, that is $6 extra per fill up. Multiply that by 52 weeks, that's over $300 a year. Some people say, "But I just want to treat my car nice." No, buddy, if you want to treat it nice, change the air filter and keep the tires inflated. I promise you, your engine is happy with regular gas if that's what it calls for. But let's move over and talk about something that's actually begging for attention right now. Myth number 2, brake pads last forever if you drive carefully. Alright, I am only saying this once. Brake pads are wear items. They are designed to wear out. It doesn't matter if you drive like a grandma. Eventually, they are going to go. And if you ignore them, well, your wallet's going to take a pretty big hit. Brake pads work by pressing against a metal disc, your rotor, to slow the car down. Over time, the pads will wear thinner and thinner, and when they get too thin, they stop cushioning and start grinding metal on metal. That grinding is your rotor being absolutely shredded. And rotors ain't cheap, not to mention that grinding can affect calipers as well. So now we're talking $1,000+ in a brake job instead of a simple $150 pad replacement. So how do you actually know when your brake pads need replacing? Well, your car will try to warn you. All you have to do is speak its language. If you're hearing a high-pitched squealing every time you slow down, that is your brake pads hitting their wear limit. But if you're hearing a deep grinding noise when you brake, well, that's even worse. That means the pads are completely worn down, and now the metal part of the brakes is grinding up against the rotors, and that is where things get pretty expensive. Another red flag is if the car starts pulling to one side when you brake. That could mean uneven brake wear or a stuck caliper. Either way, you need to get it checked out. And if you've got a modern car like a Honda Accord, Ford Explorer, or even a Kia Soul, there's a pretty good chance that the dashboard will light up with a brake warning before you even notice the noise. And finally, let's talk about the most wallet-destroying lie in all of car maintenance. Myth number 1, transmission fluid never needs changing. Now, let me be very, very clear. Transmission fluid absolutely needs to be changed. Yet, this myth keeps floating around. And why? Because some cars have lifetime transmission fluid. Well, have I got news for you. Lifetime actually means until the warranty ends. Not your lifetime, not the car's entire life, just long enough so the dealership's not on the hook. Now, transmission fluid does a lot more than just lubricate. It cools internal components, it allows for smoother shifting, it prevents metal shavings from grinding your transmission into dust. So, of course, over time, the fluid breaks down, it gets dirty, and it loses its ability to do its job. And when that happens, shifts get rough, gears slip. Eventually, you have a problem. And guess what? Replacing a modern automatic transmission can cost you anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000. But I heard changing it can cause problems. Okay, yes, if your car has 200,000 miles and it's never been done, then flushing it suddenly might dislodge gunk and make it even worse. That is fair. But if you maintain it regularly, every 40 to 60,000 miles, or whatever the manual says, your transmission will likely last much longer. So don't be scared off by urban legends. Go talk to an actual mechanic, not some random guy on Reddit with a Civic. Oh, and one more thing. Check if your car has a transmission dipstick. Some newer ones are sealed, which means you have to take it to the dealer, but even sealed systems can and, well, should be serviced. But that's all for our 5 car maintenance myths that are robbing you. If you've done 1 or 5 of these, hey, no judgment. Believe me when I say we have all fallen for some car BS at some point or the other. But now you know better, and knowing saves money. So if this saves you money, I've got a lot more where this came from. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment down below if you've got a myth that you want busted in the next one.